Celtic last night. I have to ask you first of all, 2-0 defeat, 9-man Celtic. What happened in that 47th minute at that free kick? That seemed to be the key moment.
Yeah, well, I thought Celtic were doing very well up to that point, and then they get the free kick. It's Stengs, who I thought was the best player on the night for Feyenoord. I think Joe Hart gives him far too much room. He's over on the right hand side of his goal. I'm not proclaiming to know a lot about goalkeeping, and I think Joe's give him that sort of big area. And I think, being the class professional that Joe Hart is, I think he'd have a look at that himself, and he'd be disappointed with allowing that free kick to go, because the ball bounced as well, Paul. It's had to go a long way. It's travelled about 20, I think it's 28 yards out. It's travelled a long way. The wall as well didn't do its job. You've got to stand and take one in the face, or take one if you're standing strong. That's why you're in the wall. But no, it was a poor goal to give away, in particular right on 45 minutes. It's a huge shot in the arm for Feyenoord.
You just said on the telly, just about half-time, that would be a good way to go in at 0-0. Barry, what were you thinking at that time with the game, watching both of them?
Well, what John says, I thought it was a pretty even first half, and it was lacking real quality. I thought maybe that was down to the weather. The weather, I mean, John was in Feyenoord, and it looked windy on the TV when watching it, but it was just that goal they conceded at the end with the free kick. The only real bit of quality in the first half, and it was from Stengs, who was, as John mentioned again, was the only player in the park with real quality, I thought, throughout the full 90 minutes. And the two sending offs, listen, I think they were sending offs. I don't think Bielka can complain. I know his arm goes across, I know it's soft, but Joe Hart's actually getting the ball, Paul. And then Home, obviously, he's went in with his studs up and it's caught the guy in the shin. So I think overall Celtic will be disappointed getting in 1-0 down at half time. But I thought in the second half Feyenoord showed a bit more quality, and they obviously they got that second goal, which eventually killed the game off.
We're open for business now. 0808 17 17 700. Barry Ferguson is here, and we'll be looking forward to the Rangers game. Real Betis will be in town for the match tomorrow night. Barry, just looking forward to that. We'll hear from Michael Beale. And John, just back. Great coverage last night. Pity about the result, but at 2-0, maybe that was a surprise in a way, because they had so many chances then. Quite rightly, they were chalked off, but down to 9 men. Have you ever played with just 9 men?
Yeah, did it once for Arsenal. Listen, you've got half a chance with 10 men. Saying that, it's going to be very difficult away from home. But then I think the sending off of young Home, I don't think he's got any excuses really. He's slid, his studs are in the air, his foot comes up. And although he doesn't make much contact with Weaver, the Feyenoord player, you know, still, and don't forget, Paul, these two decisions went to VAR. The two penalties went to VAR, and VAR decided that Home should be sent off, and the Lager Bielka challenge on Stengs should have given the penalty, should have been given. I thought the Lager Bielka one was a bit harsh. I thought it was soft. I know what Barry's saying. I think it's two players going for the ball, and if you look back at the footage, I think the ball is actually either running out of play or Joe Hart's going to come out and pick the ball up. So there was no need to get into that physical battle really to get first to the ball.
It looked nothing at first, didn't it? Because the ball was
I thought that one was soft, but then I think the Home one, and then once you go down to 9 men, it's just damage limitation from there. The game is almost dead and buried by that time.
Yeah, it comes down to a bit of inexperience. That's a key to both sending offs. As I mentioned earlier on, I think he's got to realise when you're in that moment, you've got to be aware of what's run about you, and he's got to be aware that Joe Hart is actually coming to collect the ball, and young Holmes just a bit too keen. He's obviously went on and he's trying to get in about the Feyenoord players, and he is high, and that one's definitely a sending off. I did think the first one was soft, but I can understand why it was given.